what was it? Only day before yesterday, the left was beating up on Obama on that crappy speech he gave.
Even if we don't yet know precisely how we're going to get there, we'll know we'll get there. There wasn't any specificity to it. I'm going to revise my remark, Chris. I don't think he aimed low. I don't think he aimed at all about this. It's startling to have heard this, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what's startling. All of a sudden, that has been turned around. President Obama has this little dog and pony show yesterday at the White House, and BP coughs up $20 billion and promises they're not going to give any dividends for the rest of the year, which is probably amounts to about $20 billion. And oh my God, they all flipped immediately. The president he is doing his job now.
First there was the speech, and then there were the actions which spoke louder than it did. Our fifth story on the countdown. President Obama today announcing a $20 billion escrow fund and a package of other concessions from BP, and the oil giant shooting itself in the public relations foot again. Even though BP's view of, quote, the small people may not be quite as bad as it sounds. Oh, suck up. Why don't you?
That was a 24-hour flip.
I'm the a-hole.
You are.
Got a little pushback on Daily Kos.
Yeah, did he? They yelled at him on Daily Kos?
Yep.
And
wow.
He didn't like to be yelled at.
No. He did that, then he went on Daily Kos and essentially resigned from the blog.
Oh,
we'll say.
Anyway, but they're all flipping over there at MSNBC. Ed Schultz, he was all in. I mean, he didn't even have one of the little teeniest hairs on the top of his head above the waterline. He is all in for the president.
And when he does meet face to face with him, he comes away with the cash. I mean, now that's a pretty tough negotiator, isn't it?
If you called around this country and you said to the finest negotiating lawyers in this country, what's he going to come out with? It would have been a big goose egg. And let me just tell you something. He's not afraid to do what our last president could not do. And that is to stand up for consumers.
How about stand up for the country? The last president stood up for the country. How about stand up for the country? How about do something for the Gulf? Oh, that's right. I got $20 billion. We're going to pass it out. You're on welfare being paid for by a private company now. Do you like that instead of your job? I don't think you do. But over at MSNBC, they got the memo. The blackberries were buzzing from the White House. Hey, he hit it out of the park.
President Obama went behind closed doors today with Tony Hayward and the other suits from BP and informed them it's time to pay. Here's the boss in action.
Oh!
I'm pleased to announce that BP has agreed to set aside $20 billion to pay claims for damages resulting from this spill.
I've seen the boss in action for 60 days now. Not boss in action, but boss in action. Not doing anything about stopping that oil from coming ashore. But I got you some money so you don't have to go on actual state welfare.
This is going to be a fun show, isn't it? The President of the United States headed out of the park. In his own way, the President of the United States took on a multinational, shook him down for $20 billion for the American people.
Shook him down is what it was. It basically is a shakedown so he could distract you from the fact that he's not doing anything about the oil. So his people, just were heartbroken that he failed at that speech. Just heartbroken. They needed to come back today and say, oh, God, he's still our hero.
It's all about the method and getting the money. This isn't about style points at this point. President Obama has done more to kick ass on oil companies than any other president ever has. These people have been devastated. They need help now.
I get it. Quit complaining about that oil. He just got you $20 billion. $20 billion. Don't you know what a billion is?
Don't look over there. Look at the $20 billion.
Look at the $20 billion. Pile up here. Greenbacks. First, don't look at it. Don't look at that pelican with the oil all over him. For God's sakes, what's the matter with you?
I'm the a-hole.
He airs on the side of fury.
How'd you like a knuckle sandwich right in the teeth?
John Gibson.